का टॉपिक क्या था? स्पाइनल कॉर्ड था, नर्वस सिस्टम था. इट वाज नर्वस सिस्टम. What was the topic that was covered in histology? CNS. Central nervous system, yes or no? So today we will be covering the sense organs. So in this first is the sense organ, that is the skin. So we will be covering the skin and the part of the eye, that is cornea and retina. So in the skin histology, if we see the gross section, here also you can see in this picture, there are different layers of the skin that you know by name, epidermis and dermis. So here, this demarcation up till this red line, this is epidermis, which is covered with the epithelium. Lower down this, up till this yellow color, this is the dermis. Then below this dermis, there is a subcutaneous tissue. So while you do dissection, you remove this epidermis and the dermis and you go to the subcutaneous tissue where the adipose tissue is there. So the first layer, epidermis, is the most superficial layer. If it is the superficial layer, that means it is forming the barrier for everything. So it is a protective layer which is protecting cover over the body. Now this epidermis, only the epidermis, not the dermis right now we are talking. So epidermis is divided into different layers, and these layers here they are called as the strata or stratum. So stratum, from the base, if I start from the division of the dermis, if I start, it starts from here, which lies on the light basement membrane. So this is stratum germinativum. Above this, SS is written. This is stratum spinosum. Next layer is stratum granulosum, and the topmost is stratum corneum. There are 4 to 5 layers in the skin because there is a thin skin and there is a thick skin. So one more layer that is present is stratum lucidum, which is present between the stratum spinosum and stratum granulosum. If you keep talking, I'll think that this topic is complete. I will not cover the topic. So starting with the stratum germinativum, as the name is suggesting, anywhere if the germinal epithelium is there, so that means it is. राहुल उसको चुप करा लो जिसको बैठा रखा है पास में, नहीं तो पूरी क्लास में खड़े रहोगे. So these germinal cells, why these germinal cells are needed? Because everybody of you know that skin is the covering which is protecting. So it is continuously going under the wear and tear. So it has to regenerate continuously. So germinativum layer, it gives the, keep on multiplying. Last rows. So this germinal epithelium is lying over a very light basement membrane, and a mitotic division keep on happening. And as it goes, there is a keratinization because the topmost layer is keratinized. So stratum corneum is a keratinized layer. So this process starts from the germinativum and ends at the corneum. Please keep coming. Stratum spinosum. So this spinosum, which starts after the germinativum, there are different cells which forms the tight junctions with each other. So if they are forming the cell junctions, tight junctions with each other, they are giving a shape that outside a cell, the cell boundary is prickled. That means the spines are shown over those cells when you see it under the microscope. So it is, a perfect name is given to it, that is stratum spinosum. All the cells, they are having the spines over it. It is also called as prickle layer. Aradhya, and next to Aradhya, please stand up. So here is the spinosum layer, and if you magnify it, this is the picture that we can see over here. This is the stratum spinosum cells which are coming from the germinativum. And here is the picture where it is being stained differently, where you can see the cells And there are different types of cells also in the spinosome, that is Langerhans cells, and there is a melanocyte processes that are present over the spinosome. Next, coming to the granulosome. So if you have heard of the granules that are called as the keratohyalin granules, these cells, they start accumulating these keratohyalin granules. So this layer is called as the stratum granulosum. So we started with the stratum germinativum, then comes the stratum spinosum, and then comes the stratum granulosum. So here the progressive maturation of a keratinocyte, which is characterized by the accumulation of the keratin. This process is called as the keratinization. Now the cells of the granulosum, they accumulate the basophilic keratohyalin granules. So here you can see the basophilic staining of these cells. So in this layer there is a differentiation of the cells and they acquire the basophilic stain. So these are called as the keratohyalin granules. Next come the lucidum, which is not present in the thick skin but present in the thin skin. So what the lucidum looks like, it looks like a clear layer. You cannot see anything in this. You will see a clear layer above the granulosum. So this clear layer above the granulosum and between the corneum is the lucidum, which is a clear layer because the dead cells which are containing the dispersed keratohyalin granules, they are present. Sit down. Next, in the last layer, that is the corneum. So this corneum layer is the outermost layer of the epidermis, which consists of the dead cells, which doesn't have these dead cells. They don't have any nuclei, they don't have any organelles. So you cannot differentiate any cell layer. You just see a thick layer over the topmost covering. So can anybody tell me what is the epithelium of the skin? Any one of you stand up and speak. सबको ही पता है, बोलो कोई भी एक जना खड़े होके. बोलो. Sit down. So it is keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium. So keratinized because of the keratin present over the topmost layer, that is the stratum corneum, and stratified because the multiple layer of the cells is present. Why squamous? Superficial topmost layer is the squamous epithelium. We say it is a squamous epithelium, but we don't find any squamous epithelium because the dead cells are present over here. Next, coming to the different types of skins in the body, thick skin and the thin skin. You all know where the thick skin is present. It is present in the palm, it is present in the sole. So 5 prominent layers and the 4 prominent layers. So that this has the prominent stratum corneum in the thick skin and well developed stratum granulosum. While here the less prominent stratum corneum and the less developed stratum granulosum. Next, the individual cells that are present in the skin. So in this keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, there are different types of cells which are present over here. They are, first one is the keratinocytes. So we are continuously talking about the keratinocytes. They are not single, they are multiple in number. So that layer has multiple layer of cells and it is responsible for the keratin formation. Next, it keeps on regenerating, and you know what is the need of regenerating, and it regenerates after 2 to 4 weeks. Next are the melanocytes. What is the purpose of melanocytes? What is the role of melanin? Arnab, दोनों खड़े हो जाओ. So what is the role of melanin? कोई रोल है मेलेनिन का स्किन में? तुमसे पूछा नहीं है, मैंने खड़े रहने को बोला. हाँ, बोलो, व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ मेलानिन? आगे आके बैठ जाओ दोनों. व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ मेलानिन इन द स्किन? क्यों होते हैं मेलानोसोम्स? मेलानोसोम्स आर द सेल्स दैट प्रोड्यूस मेलानिन. नहीं पता किसी को भी? नहीं पता, आप लोग पढ़ के बताएंगे. Next is the Langerhans cells. These are the antigen presenting cells. So that is a homework for you. Melanocytes, melanin producing cells, why they are present in the body. Next is the Langerhans cells, which are antigen presenting cells. These are the dendritic cells which are found in the skin, and they are found in the upper layers of the stratum spinosum. How do they look like? So if you see, they have a branches. This is a cell with a central placed nucleus, and they have lot of branches that are coming out from here. So this is how we identify the Langerhans cells in the microscope. You won't be able to see it at the 10x. Then the Merkel cells. Now Merkel cells, Merkel discs, they are Merkel processes. These are present in the skin for the perception of the pressure. So they are found in the basal cell layer, and they function as the touch receptors. So here we can see the picture of the Merkel cells which are present in the basal layer. Now next, coming to the dermis, this was all about the epidermis, the different type of cells, different type of layers that were present in the epidermis. Now next, below the epidermis is the dermis. Again, this dermis is divided into two layers, the papillary layer and the reticular layer. So when this slide comes to you, they will ask you how you can divide the dermis. What is the differentiation, and where is the papillary part, and where is the this reticular part. So if you can see the projection of this parenchyma into the this stratified layer, so these projections, they look like the finger-like projections. That's why it is called as the papillary layer of the dermis. Underneath that, the stroma is present over here. This is called as the reticular layer of the dermis. So there are two layers, and this dermis, why this dermis is present in the skin? Because to provide the thermoregulation. Next is supply the avascular epidermis with the nutrients. So epidermis doesn't have any nutrient supply, they don't have any blood vessels, so it is avascular. So this nutrient supply, it occurs because of the help of the dermis, which is containing the blood vessels. So dermis is divided into two zones, a papillary zone and the reticular layer. The dermis contains mostly the fibroblasts. So this layer has fibers, a lot of fibers are present over there, which are responsible for the secretions of the collagen, elastic and the ground substance, which give the support and elasticity to the skin. So mainly the dermis will be formed of the fibroblasts, which secretes the different type of fibers that you have read, collagen fibers, elastic fibers. Next is the papillary dermis. So papillary dermis that we have discussed, it is a vascular network. Other than that, most important point is that this corpuscle, which is present in the finger-like projection, this is Meissner's corpuscle. So they will ask you anywhere that where this Meissner corpuscle is present. They will ask you in neuroanatomy also, they can ask you where the Meissner's corpuscle is present. So it is present in the papillary layer of the dermis. So what does this contain? It contains the free sensory nerve endings and the structures called Meissner's corpuscles, which are called as the mechanoreceptors. They are responsible for the light touch. The last one, the reticular layer of the dermis, papillary and the reticular. So reticular layer of dermis is important in giving the skin its strength and the elasticity. So it is providing, because the fibers are present over there, so it is providing the holding to the upper layer of the skin. Next, what are the functions of the skin? It is a protective layer. Other than protection, प्रोटेक्शन के अलावा क्या करती है? अभी तक तो तुम्हें सुनाई नहीं देता था, अब दिखना भी बंद हो गया है. दिख रहा है ना स्क्रीन पे, तो बोल तो सकते हो. बहुत ही बुरा हाल है तुम लोगों का. Sensory function, because you have seen that the Meissner's corpuscles are present over there, Other than Meissner's corpuscle और क्या पढ़ा था? Merkel disc था, that was present in the basal layer. Then it has secretory function. Why it has secretory function? Because it is inhabiting the sweat glands also. Heat regulatory function, because there is a continuous supply on the continuous cutaneous blood flow is over the skin. Then excretory function. Why there is excretory function? Because the glands, they keep on secreting the water, salty secretions and the fatty substances. Synthetic function. What is the synthetic function of the skin? Production of vitamin D. Next is the water balance by sweating. So next, coming to the appendages of the skin. What are the appendages of the skin? Nails are the appendages of the skin. Yes. Anything else? Hairs. So in the hair follicles, we can see the sebaceous glands. So if you will see the slide of the thin skin, you will see the hair follicle over there. So that hair follicle is bearing a muscle fiber and the sebaceous glands. So how do you identify the sebaceous gland in histology? They look like grape bunch of a grape. So if we see in this picture, this is a hair follicle, and this one is the this one is the sebaceous gland. So this sebaceous gland look like a bunch of the grapes. So this is sebaceous gland which is associated with the hair follicle. Other than this, there is a erector pili muscle that is also associated with the hair follicles. Why do you have goosebumps? Because of the contraction of the erector pili muscles. So this completes the histology of the skin. Next, coming to the histology of the cornea and the retina. So if we see the cornea, we divide it into the upper part and the lower part. Upper part, that is covered with the epithelium, and rest of the part is the stromal layer. Then this cornea is again divided into multiple layers. Retina also have multiple layers, cornea also have multiple layers. So first, topmost is the corneal epithelium. So can anybody comment on the epithelium? It is a stratified epithelium, it is a pseudo-stratified epithelium. It looks like pseudo-stratified, though it is a stratified epithelium. So this is the epithelium. Underneath these, a limiting membrane or the basement membrane which is separating it from the stroma. It is called as the anterior limiting membrane or the Bowman's membrane. Next comes the corneal stroma. So these all layers, they are called as the stromal layer. Next comes this is Descemet's membrane, and next is the endothelial layer, which is the posterior epithelium. So first, coming to the corneal epithelium that you identified as pseudo-stratified, is a non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. It is just 1 millimeter thick. It is highly sensitive. Why it is highly sensitive? It is highly sensitive to any irritation or injury. So if any irritation or injury occurs or happens in the cornea, it will lead to the pain, lacrimation, photophobia, and the blinking of your eyes. Next is the Bowman's membrane. It's not capsule, it's membrane, and it is also called as the anterior limiting membrane. So here you can see underneath this stratified epithelium, this layer, it is called as the anterior limiting membrane. What is the thickness of this layer? It is 10 to 12 micrometer. Then dense mass of collagen fibers, they are present in this layer, and it acts as a barrier for the spread of the infection. Once damaged, it cannot be regenerated. So the two layers, first one was corneal epithelium, second one is the Bowman's layer or anterior limiting membrane. If this slide comes to you, they will just ask you what are the different layers. You have to name the layers that are present in the cornea. Then comes the corneal stroma. So main portion of the cornea is just formed by the main portion is formed by the stroma, which is contained of the fibers. A lot of collagen fibers, they are present here, and they are present in a well ordered manner. Anywhere else, if the collagen fiber bundles are present, where is that place? Tendon. Tendon is the place where well defined collagen fibers are present, and there is a bundle branching of the collagen fibers in tendon. Now this layer is transparent and has the flattened fibroblasts which are located between these lamellae. So you can see these dots, these are the nuclei of the fibroblast. Next layer, coming to the end of the cornea, is posterior limiting membrane, also called as Descemet's membrane. So you should know which is Descemet's membrane, which is the Bowman's membrane. Last one, the endothelial layer. Here this endothelial layer is formed of the cuboidal cells. So this is a picture of a corneal slide if you see it at 10x. So at 10x magnification, you can differentiate these layers. This is the stratified squamous epithelium, then the Bowman's membrane, stromal layer, Descemet's membrane, and below is the endothelium. So here, can you identify the layers? Yes, no? Identify कर सकते हैं क्या इसमें layers? Can we identify corneal layers in this picture? कर सकते हैं तो कितनी कर सकते हैं? All layers can be identified? तुम्हें माइक्रोस्कोप में यही दिखेगा. Will you be able to identify this is a cornea? Yes? कर लोगे आइडेंटिफाई? हाँ है या ना है, क्या है? यस होता है और नो होता है? नो, नहीं कर पाओगे. एपिथेलियम दिख नहीं रहा तो कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करोगे? क्या दिख रहा है? एक थिक लेयर टॉप में, और बिलो क्या दिख रहा है? स्ट्रोमा दिख रहा है. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली द पिक्चर एट 10x जो तुम आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाओगे. तो 10x पे एक थिक लेयर दिखेगी, uppermost, that is the stratified epithelium, or below is the stromal layer. This much you can identify. You cannot identify the stratification of the cells over there. You cannot identify the collagen fibers with the fibroblast at the 10x. So you have to change it to the 40x. Next, coming to the retina. So yesterday you all have attended the UGCR, right? So what are the 10 layers that are present in the retina? So वो भी छोड़ो. Tell me the coverings of the eye. एक आवाज आई है. स्क्लेरा, कॉर्निया. स्क्लेरा कॉर्निया एक ही लेयर हो गई ना, 1/6 and 2/6. फिर आफ्टर कॉर्निया दिस स्क्लेरा, second layer which is vascular layer, third layer, आई की लेयर्स भी नहीं पता है. हाँ बोलो बोलो बोलो, सही बोल रहे हो. लिप रीडिंग थोड़ी करूंगी, बोलो. Three coats of eyeball: sclera, choroid, retina. तो तुमको रेटिना की लेयर्स कैसी दिखने वाली है, पहले उसी पे चलते हैं ना. ऐसे. तो ऐसे दिखेगा हिस्टोलॉजी में. मैम पता नहीं क्या आइडेंटिफाई करना है, नहीं पता इसमें 10 लेयर्स कहाँ से आएंगी. सो दिस सिंगल लाइन इज शोइंग यू 10 लेयर्स. ठीक है. So if you broaden the picture, you can see the multiple layers. So what does retina consist of? रेटिना में 10 लेयर्स होती हैं, उन 10 लेयर्स में क्या क्या होता है? हैंग हो गया है, भैया को बुलाना बाहर से शक्ति। तो रेटिना में क्या क्या होगा? कुछ लेयर्स तो यहाँ पे भी दिख रही है। अच्छा, इट इज सेंसरी और नॉट सेंसरी? सेंसरी नहीं होता है, इट डजंट टेक द लाइट इम्पल्सेस। It has bipolar cells. Other than these cells, the photoreceptor cells are also present over there. So what are the photoreceptor cells that are present there? Rods and cones. What is the function of rods and cones? Rods क्या लेके जाते हैं, cones क्या लेते जाते हैं, क्या perceive करते हैं? ये तो कल भी डिस्कस हुआ था। कलर विजन के लिए cone. Okay, what is the pigment that is present in the rods? Rhodopsin. Okay, now coming to the layers of the retina. First one is the pigment cell layer. So if we start from the topmost layer, this one is the topmost layer. So if we start from here, is the pigment cell layer which is covered with the epithelium. Next is the layer of the rods and cones. Next comes the external limiting membrane. You have to remember these name of the all the layers. Then the nuclear layers, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer. Then comes the inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer is present, nerve fiber layer, and last is internal limiting membrane. So these are the layers of the skin, layers of the retina. So first, one by one, coming to each layer, pigment cell layer, which is covered with the epithelium. This is cuboidal epithelium. So cuboidal epithelium is present over the topmost layer of the retina. The cytoplasm here contains the melanin pigment, and this absorbs the light. Now it also forms a barrier between the retina, which is called as the blood retinal barrier. Now why it is retinal barrier, blood retinal barrier? Because underneath this there is a choroid layer. So it is a barrier between the retina and the vascular layer of the choroid. So first pigment layer, next comes the layer of the rods and cones. So rod and cone cells, these are the photoreceptors. So you already told me what is the pigment in the rod. So cone cells, they are for the photooptic vision, and the rod cells are scotooptic vision. The number of cones, they are 6.5 million, and rods are 120 million. Next is the limiting membrane. The first limiting membrane, the external, and the last one is the internal limiting membrane. So first external limiting membrane, this is junctional zone between the cells, that are the Mueller cells, and the photoreceptor processes. So here you can see this is the pigment epithelium. These are the photoreceptor layer, and this is the outer limiting membrane. After that starts the outer nuclear layer. Now outer nuclear layer, what does it consist of? If we see, we can see the cell bodies over here that are present in the outer nuclear layer. Now the cell bodies of the rods, cell bodies and the nuclei of the rods and cones, they are present in this layer. Cone cells, they are responsible for the color vision, and rod cells, they are sensitive to the lower intensities of the light. Next is the plexiform layer. Plexiform is the network. So it consists of the axons of the layer that was underneath it. So it consists of the axons that are coming from the rods and cones, as well as the dendrites of the bipolar neurons. So this is the plexiform layer, which is consisting of the axons that are coming from the rods and cones, and they are also consisting of the dendrites of the horizontal cells that are coming over here. Inner nuclear layer. Again the nuclear layer, that was outer nuclear layer, and this is inner nuclear layer. So it is bipolar neurons that are present over here, amacrine cells of the retina, Mueller cells, and the horizontal cells. So it all contains the cell bodies of these cells. Next is plexiform layer. This plexiform layer again contains the axons of the bipolar and the dendrites of ganglionic cells along with the amacrine cells. Ganglionic cell layer. This ganglionic cell layer consists of the body and the nuclei of the ganglion cells. Second last layer, the nerve fiber layer, consists of the axons of the ganglion cell, and finally it leaves as the optic nerve. Last, the internal limiting membrane. So this internal limiting membrane, this separates the retina from the vitreous humor. So it comes in the inside where the vitreous humor is present, and is formed by the union of the terminal expansions of the Mueller cells and their basement membrane. So this is the internal limiting membrane. So the story is that for retina, if it comes to you, you just have to tell the 10 layers. If you are able to tell the 10 layers of the retina, that will finish up your viva. So topmost layer, if you start, it starts with the pigment epithelium. Here all 10 layers are not present. Okay. Here the pigment epithelium, then the photoreceptor cell layer, outer limiting layer, then outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer, and last one is inner limiting membrane. So ये 10 layers याद कर लेना. इस टॉपिक में यही इम्पोर्टेंट है, 10 layers of the retina. So this is all in the sense organs.